Hello, Waffle Crew. I hope you're all doing great. I'm Mark, and today we're diving into some fresh Reddit tales. If you enjoy a good Reddit story, consider giving a thumbs up, subscribing, and maybe ringing that notification bell. Let's jump into our first story, sending you all tons of love. Our first tale comes from the relationship advice subreddit, titled High Society Habits. It reads, "My boyfriend, 31M, is heading off for the entire Memorial Day weekend to spend time with his friend, 31M, at a secluded cabin. Ugh, I need advice on a situation that's hitting too close to home. My ex, 25 million at the time, and I, 25 million then, started as work buddies, and our relationship was amazing. He was my closest confidant. But trouble brewed with his longtime female friends. They'd exchange I love yous, sit on each other's laps, and touch in ways that felt inappropriate to me. I voiced my discomfort and asked him to set boundaries, but he wouldn't. Frustrated, I messaged one of the women myself, which caused a huge blow-up. Now, with my current boyfriend, 31M, and me, 29F, we also began as tight work friends and built a solid, mutual connection. We've been friends for 8 months, officially together for 4. He's a compassionate, generous guy who views helping others as part of his faith, which I respect. But a situation with his friend Olivia, 30F, is stirring up those same feelings of being sidelined. Olivia, who lives in another state, his home state, which he left nearly a year ago, knows about me but invited herself for his birthday weekend, this Memorial Day, and reserved a cabin just for the two of them, Friday through Monday. She's shown zero interest in meeting me. At first, I was supportive, but now I feel left out and confused. He's repeatedly said he doesn't even want to go, feels cornered, suspects she might have a crush on him, and wouldn't usually spend this much time with her. Yet he's going because he feels guilty. She has chronic health issues and recently lost her pet. I'm upset and hurt. I don't expect to be anyone's entire world, but I can't fathom why he'd prioritize someone he's not even that close to over me, especially after I've been clear about how this affects me. I want to be empathetic and supportive, but I also want to feel valued and prioritized. How can I handle this without trying to control things or compromising my own emotional health? Nah, you're not being controlling at all, especially since he's admitted he feels she might have romantic feelings, and she booked a cabin out of nowhere without including you, knowing he's in a relationship. Yes, losing a pet and dealing with health issues is tough, but that doesn't mean your boyfriend has to spend his birthday weekend alone with her. A commenter chimed in, "If he feels trapped and suspects her intentions, it sounds like a setup. You should go too. It's his birthday. Why aren't you invited? Good luck." OP responded. She told him she doesn't want to explain her health issues to a stranger even though she posts about them publicly on Facebook. She also said she doesn't want to pretend she's fine when she's not. I think this might be more about her feelings toward our relationship. The commenter replied, "So he's okay disappointing you but not her. That says everything about his potential as a partner." OP said, "I don't think it's just about disappointing her. It sounds awful, but he sees her as a bit of a charity case. If he thinks he can help someone, he will. But she's leaning on him as her main support, despite having plenty of local friends, and he's enabling it by agreeing to this." The commenter added, "He's still choosing her over you, especially knowing she might like him romantically. This is his chance to set boundaries, but instead, he's keeping her hooked," OP admitted. "That's what I feared, and I'm dreading the truth." The commenter suggested, "Tell him honestly that if he goes, it's over. If he can't set boundaries with her, she'll always be around. Do you want to deal with her forever? It's only been 4 months, and you already see the red flags. Is it worth it?" OP replied, "I don't think so. This has been a wake-up call. I can't keep ignoring my past lessons." Another commenter said, "He knows she might have feelings for him, doesn't want to upset her, and it's his birthday. Agreeing to a weekend alone with her won't help anything. He's fine disappointing you. Run, don't walk, away." OP responded, "Funnily enough, we've both said there's no way he'd ever be with her romantically. His ex of 7 years cheated on him, so he has zero tolerance for cheating. I'm not worried about that. It's purely the disrespect I feel from her, intentional or not, and his disregard for my feelings despite me explaining it all. I don't want to push him to cancel last minute, though I almost offered to cover his share of the cabin so he wouldn't go." The commenter replied, "No offense, but you're being naive. Are you sure his ex cheated?" If he was cheated on, he wouldn't downplay spending days alone with another woman. He's going on a romantic getaway with someone who likely has feelings for him. She may not be his type, but that wouldn't stop most guys from crossing a line. Focus on his actions, not his words. He's playing you both. Who knows what he's telling her about you? Is she hearing that you're the charity case? OP said, I'm certain his ex cheated for several reasons. I think that's why he didn't say no. He knows nothing would happen. So he thinks it's fine to go because I have nothing to worry about. But cheating was never my concern. It's the disrespect of the whole situation. His past makes him focus on cheating as the issue, not the lack of respect. The next day, OP replied to a comment calling her out for making excuses. I just got a diagnosis from the doctor. I have a chronic case of delusion. Then OP shared an update. I offered solutions, compromises, and clearly explained what bothered me. I said I'd never put him in this position and that he'd be hurt if I did this to him. I told him to decide for himself, but made it clear what I won't tolerate. He agreed everything I said was valid, then went anyway because he wants to stop being flaky and had made a commitment. I texted him that I now only love him as a friend, as I'd told him from the start, but now I'm not sure I even want that. Love is a choice and indifference is its opposite. He's shown he's indifferent to me as both a partner and friend. Thanks, Reddit, for the tough love. I'd rather be angry at him and myself for missing this than sad while he feels nothing. Edit. Yes, I ended it. I can't think about him or this without rage. I look forward to when that turns to indifference. A commenter asked, Good for you, OP. Did he reply to your text? What he did was wrong. He dismissed your feelings completely. He never cared. OP said, he ignorantly asked, Does this mean you're ending it? And patronizingly added, I admire your ability to set boundaries, which I clearly can't do. Another commenter said, Why would you love this jerk even as a friend after this? Go no contact and forget him. He doesn't care about you. OP replied, His patronizing support for my boundaries, while fully acknowledging what happened, showed his indifference. It's made it impossible for me to want anything to do with him. A commenter added, He's basically cheating in front of you. What a jerk. OP responded, I think he feels okay because he didn't lie. Another said, That's the dumbest thing I've heard. He can't say no to a weekend getaway because her dog died. Next, he'll say he couldn't turn down sleeping with her because she was sad about her pet. Tell him to enjoy his weekend, but he'll need a new girlfriend afterward. I was married to someone who prioritized others over me. It never gets better. OP laughed. My last ex's friend's dog also died. I need to start checking if my future partner's friends have dogs on the verge of passing. A commenter concluded, Our work here is done. OP replied, Sometimes you need unbiased strangers to tell you what you should already know. We see it in these stories, people called spineless or doormats, but when you're in it and things feel normal, it's hard to see clearly. You need that push to break free, and I'm so glad OP got it. It seems like no matter what she said, he was always going to go, making excuses. I wouldn't be shocked if he'd been planning this for a while. What do you all think? Share your thoughts below. Now, our next story comes from the Am I the Asshole subreddit titled Her Big Day. It reads, Am I the asshole for refusing to walk my daughter down the aisle? My daughter, 26F, and I haven't spoken in years. When she was 15, we learned she wasn't my biological child, and my wife had cheated with a friend. This friend suddenly wanted to play dad. My wife and I divorced, and I told my daughter I'd always love her no matter what. She was curious about her biological father, which hurt, but I accepted. She started pulling away, uninterested in family time. The final straw was when she was 20, living at my house. We argued because she dropped her college classes, hadn't done anything for 3 months, and I told her she needed to work or study to stay rent-free. She snapped, You're not my real dad, so stop acting like it. I'll go live with my real father. It crushed me. I said if that's how she felt, there was nothing left to say. She moved out to live with him. I was depressed for a long time, drank heavily, and my son, 24 months, was my only reason to keep going. For years, I reached out to her, but she wanted no contact. I eventually accepted it and found peace. My son was upset with her for a while, but still talks to her occasionally, which I'm fine with. Through him, I learned her biological father died in October 2019, and she's engaged. She contacted me saying she knows we haven't talked, but asked if I'd walk her down the aisle. After a long message about how much she hurt me, I said no. She didn't want me as a father, so I no longer see her as my daughter. This sparked a fight. She said it wasn't her fault she wanted to know her real dad. I agreed, but said how she treated me since was her choice. In my mind, if he hadn't died, we wouldn't be speaking now. I told her I hope she enjoys her wedding, but I want no part in it or her life. My son says she's complaining to family that I'm ruining her day, claiming parents should love their kids unconditionally. My brothers think I'm the asshole, saying this is my chance to reconnect, but I'm not interested. They say I'm making it hard for her to have the wedding she wants. My son supports me, but the comments are wearing me down. For my sanity, am I the asshole? A downvoted commenter said, "You're the asshole. I'm sorry for what you went through, but you'll regret this. She was just a kid when she learned you weren't her biological father, and it must have messed with her head in ways you can't imagine." The fight at 20, when she cut contact, happens to many biological parents, too. Her behavior wasn't unusual, and reconciliation is possible. She's trying to mature and handle it like an adult now. OP replied, "Reconciliation isn't something I want. I found peace for the first time since this all happened." On cutting out family for mental health, OP said, "I learned the hard way that sometimes cutting family out, no matter how painful, is best for your life. My son saw how dark a place I was in. I almost didn't make it back." Another commenter said, "Not the asshole. She decided you weren't her father, and you respected that. Now that her bio dad is gone, she doesn't get to change the rules. She doesn't want you, she wants someone to play a role. Maybe your son can walk her instead." OP replied, "Maybe, but my son's not going to the wedding, not over this. He just doesn't want to." They're not close, despite occasional chats. OP clarified on his kid's relationship. "I'm fine with my son talking to her and encouraged him to go to the wedding. On meeting his daughter in person, OP said, even if her apology was genuine, my feelings wouldn't change. I know how shocking it was for her, plus the divorce. We had her and my son in therapy for years to process it. It's been over 6 years since she chose no relationship. It cut deep, but with therapy and my son's help, I found peace and won't lose it. This is so messy. I feel OP's pain. He raised her for 15 years, loved her unconditionally, only to hear, 'You're not my real dad.' It's devastating. But I also get why some say she was 15, dealing with life-altering news. Her coming back now for the wedding feels like she's using him as a stand-in, which I understand why he'd hesitate to open that door again." OP's update. "Thanks for the support, especially from parents who messaged me. I sent a group text to family who wouldn't stop bugging me, reflecting on my efforts to stay in her life and how it wrecked my mental health. They saw how dark a place I was in. It took therapy and my son to pull me out. My brother called to apologize for pushing me and respected my final decision to stay out of her life. No one else has said anything, so I hope they got the message. Blocking those siding with her was the best advice. It was harming my peace. I spoke to her on the phone, apologizing for how things happened and wishing she hadn't faced such life-changing moments so young. She made her choice for 6 years, as I have. I asked her to reflect honestly, not to me. If her bio dad hadn't died, would we be talking? She didn't answer, but that's okay. It's for her to think about. I wished her a beautiful wedding and healthy marriage, but said our relationship is over. I hope she finds peace, as I have. She didn't say if she'd stop talking about me online, so I blocked her and her mom's family for my peace of mind." A commenter said, "Glad you worked it out with your brother and found peace. You made the right, though tough, choice." Her silence says she knows the answer. OP replied, "As long as she knows the truth, it doesn't matter if she told me." Another suggested a trip with his son to move on. OP said, "We're doing a guy's trip this weekend to shake it off. We love driving upstate, hitting beaches or dive bars. Our unplanned trips are always a blast, and we took extra days off work." OP explained more about his daughter's school and divorce. "She stopped school because she didn't know what to major in, switching twice. I said it's fine. School's not for everyone, but going out with friends or to her mom's and doing nothing at home wasn't okay. I told her she'd need a job or a plan to stay rent-free, not that I'd kick her out. The divorce was tough. We had both kids in therapy because no one was equipped to handle it alone. She'd been in therapy for years to process her bio dad's introduction. She chose him, and we made it work. I didn't step back. She lived with me." On her bio dad and the wedding ask, OP said, "He died almost 2 years ago. I hadn't heard from her until this wedding request. I asked her to reflect on why she's reaching out now. It doesn't matter to me. I've moved on with my son. A commenter noted, if you're still on her birth certificate, update your will. She could claim inheritance. OP replied, I'm no longer on it. What do you think? Did OP make the right call, or would you have chosen differently? Share your thoughts below. A huge thanks for joining today. Your love, support, and time mean everything. Hopefully, I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.